So, welcome to our Divine Light Activation gathering on January 10th, 2017. And I think I'll just put you guys on mute for a second. And then I'm trying to see who has a lot of background noise. Oh, maybe you can put yourselves on mute if you think you have background noise, and we'll do it that way. And then you can always unmute yourself. Yeah. And Brenda, to be on the phone, you would just press *6 to mute or unmute yourselves.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that sounds cool. All right. Well, hi. I'm delighted to be with you all and to be having some divine light activation, co-creation time from the altar of the visionary heart and that space of eye to eye, peer to peer, divine to divine, being of light to being of light. And so I have been meditating with the team about what some energies or explorations they have in mind for our time together. And yet, as this is a co-creation, I would love to hear from you all. What would support you? What would nourish you? What contribution or part of the sequence are you bringing to this conversation, if anything's coming up for you? And just to bring everybody's energy in a little bit more fully into the space.
Well, a lot's been going on for me energetically. I just did a humongous healing on anger at all the pain and suffering of me, and really of humanity. It just was huge. So I've just been coming through all that. I feel a lot of energy coming through, and I've been listening to the October DLA audios and have really loved getting back in a fuller connection with the DLA. It's been really lovely. I'm glad I have the time to do that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Robin. And, as you're talking about that love, and I don't know if you guys saw my newsletter that went out today, but I was like trying to describe what I love about DLA. And then it just got me curious, like what you guys love about DLA too. So if you want to include that in your opening, that'd be fun to hear as well.
I'd have to ponder that. I'm sure everybody else is kind of it feels powerful. I know I keep using the word amazing, but I don't know. I'll think about this while other people are talking.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself, Daniel. I see your lips moving.
Yes. So in my case, I have been going through some challenging times in work, a lot of obstacles and challenges. So it has been like a test of my being able to be centered and connect with my intention. And at the same time, it has been incredibly beautiful connections and healings. I've been getting new musical instruments that are one of the most lovely sounds you could hear. So it's all coming at the same time, like the challenges and the beauty. And reflecting about what I love about the DLA, it is that it is as much as all the activations. Plus, I mean, for me, I got so much more from the place, from doing that. I mean, where we did it, makes such a, it is in itself so special. And for me, that has opened so many doors, you know, the Divine Feminine and Mary Magdalene. So it is like opening doors, many opening doors, even beyond what could be described. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi, it's David.
Hi, David.
When I'm having an on day, and I don't, you know, it's almost like it's every second day. It's really brilliant. You know, it's like I'm growing with it. Then my body has to adjust. When I'm having an on day, it's kind of like that email you sent out today, where this whole diamond light. I mean, first it's the 22. This whole thing just keeps growing and growing, and then it becomes this brilliant number 22. And 23 and 24 just totally activated, and a brilliant diamond light in the core of my being from my root chakra up. It's just amazing and beautiful.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And then the other day,
Well, on off days, you know, it's almost because I think I do so much on days. And a lot of times on off days, my body's just kind of, you know, recovering and going to grow more, but it's kind of, you know, the fuel cell has kind of been burnt. You know, it's been used up, and it says, wait, you got to have a break. And that's what seems to happen to me. And that's not abnormal for me. I mean, that's, but as long as it keeps growing, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so that sounds like your creative cycle too, that you're aware of and knowing yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is true.
Cool.
I did wonder if today it didn't light so much, though, because the energies were coming through more because we were having this class, you know, get together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. So who else wants to put stuff on the altar?
I will. It's nice to be able to see everybody now.
Okay,
So,
welcome, Brenda.
thank you. I had the pleasure of being able to listen to all of the master set over the holiday. So the energies are really flowing. I can see you. And I was delighted just to read the newsletter that came out today. And I'm just so curious. I'm delighted about this cosmic connection that is coming in through your home, through the Temple of Light. And yeah, it was so lovely. It just felt so rich and deep to listen to the master set in a receptive state, and I had quiet time, and it just, yeah, it's and obviously it's going to continue to build, as David said. And so for me, I would say it's just more deepening the feeling that all is well, that that life is inherently so good, and the opulent bliss. And when I'm just slightly slipping out of it, I'm coming back more and more easily, more and more readily to that deep inner feeling, that state of being of just feeling centered, and that life is just amazing. And I love playing with what is possible. Seems to be one of the things that really sparks for me, is the grandest possibilities for us as individuals and for the earth, and indeed now with this cosmic connection that was described in today's email.
Cool. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a good energy boost for our time together. What's possible. I'm feeling those delight codes coming into, I don't know, you guys can change like how you view everybody. So I have us, where I can see everybody. I was just having this flashback of like the Brady Bunch, like how they would have the 6 of them because I see us all next to each other. It was,
when Mary looked up, I was like, when it looked down, it's like it could be Hollywood Square.
yeah, our Hollywood Squares. Yeah, it was cracking me up. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Brenda. So Mary Elizabeth, look like you're ready to go.
Yeah, for me, part of the beauty of the DLAs is the concentration of particular energies. It's like you have a key that you can turn if you want to turn up emerald resonance, you know kind of where to pull that. And so rather than just feeling full of energy, it's like you have words and concepts that you can sort of direct that energy or be reminded by that energy that it's there. It's kind of like pulling, like a little wormhole. You sort of open it up and you're into delight code. So.
Cool. Is anything you're coming into the conversation with, or 2017 you want to place on the altar?
I just want to place my open heart on the altar.
Thank you. All right, Mary, you look like you're ready.
Yeah. Happy New Year to everybody. So I think for me, the way that I've been playing with the divine light is as I just sense that as I've been kind of summoning energies and connecting, I just get there's this window of expansion, or there's some expansion or some quantum something that we can tap into for the divine light activations. And then for me, I think, energetically, the last 2 months since November have been an interesting time in my life. It's been really challenging just from the energetics. So I'm kind of looking for a little bit more ease with 2017.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
And
all right.
and I would just add, just thinking about what I love about the DLA. 3 things. My healings feel like they've been so much deeper, just so deeper and wider, somehow affecting just my whole beingness. And second, I've really been able to drop, when I've gotten really emotional about things, or I just feel in a crummy place, I feel like I've been able to move out of those places far more quickly, almost with just a thought, just really being able to move out and move on and move back into a place of being centered and joyful and being loving. And what was my third thing I wrote? Oh, just that I feel like I have been a lot into kind of that fixing stuff, even though I've known that wasn't like the way to go. And I feel like I've been able to come in my healings more from a place of wholeness. Just wholeness, and that my perspective, because of the DLA, has really been widened hugely, and coming from that wholeness. So I really like that. And I love what Mary Elizabeth said about the being able to like concentrate, your energy. That's really a great thought. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm placing on the altar continued buoying for my physical health, as I have been thinking about our September time. When I came back from Florida, I had the snuffleupagus of sneezing and coughing and all that kind of stuff, but been feeling like the luminous light is just such an amazing one to be coming from totality. So I would add that on the altar of just more physical support and radiance, and have been geeking out on the divine light activations with the team, and yeah, so that's been fun. All right, so let's bring them in and play. Yeah. And as always, at any time, if you're feeling called to add something verbally or non-verbally, please feel free to do so. Hoyania, shitinia, hania, tinia, koshitinia, tiwakwe shi, tinionkwe, tiwakwe shi. This is the divine light activation, beings of light that are moving more to the forefront of this divine transmission. Divine light activation number 1, visionary heart. Divine light activation number 2, positioning. Divine light activation number 3, luminous light. Divine light activation number 4, awaken love. Divine light activation number 5, solar flame. Divine light activation number 6, divine sight. Divine light activation number 7, delight codes. Divine light activation number 8, infinite choice. Divine light activation number 9, interdimensional communication. Divine light activation number 10, emerald resonance. Divine light activation number 11, ruby fire. Divine light activation number 12, multidimensional bliss. Divine light activation number 13, ascended mastery. Divine light activation number 14, oracular vision. Divine light activation number 15, co-creation midwife. Divine light activation number 16, actualized consciousness. Divine light activation 17, source ignition. Divine light activation 18, cosmic light. Divine light activation 19, evolutionary magic. Divine light activation 20, universal momentum. Divine light activation number 21, divine activation. Divine light activation number 22, integrated light. Divine light activation number 23, the full 22 divine light activation sequence. Divine light activation number 24, me as a being of light, that are moving more to the forefront of this divine transmission. And you are each invited, as the beings of light that you each be, to also move more into the forefront of this divine transmission. And we are delighted to be gathering once again in this way. And as the opening time had been happening, and some are bilocating for that opening time, there is the awareness of kind of exchanging on the auric level what everyone has been up to. And because the divine light activation is organic and dynamic and co-creative, it is like expanded by each of you and the keys that you carry and the codes that you carry. And so coming together is almost like awakening the full divine light activation sequence once again and evolving it to its next level of consciousness. And so we would begin with inviting you to take a few moments going within, and as you're going within, that you imagine that you are able to walk into the Vesica Pisces, so like the 2 overlapping circles, that there's an Akashic symbol in the center, or like the eye, And you're able to walk through that eye, like some of you may have done in the Magic Academy. And that walking through that eye is like walking through our divine partnership, our co-creation, that you're one circle, that we're one circle. And walking through the eye is like walking through where we come together. It's like walking into the chamber of the visionary heart. And that me, Toth, as well as this entire council meeting, which has more members joining it from the intergalactic levels, are there to greet you in the visionary heart. And just as you would explore a temple, there's the invitation to explore the temple of light, of the divine light activation, that you may, for this now moment, contemplate the divine light activation sequence as a 24-roomed temple of light, 24 dimensions, and that we're together in the visionary heart divine light activation room. And anywhere that there may have been something that needs to be included back into the oneness, back in the wholeness, back in the source from which it came, to recalibrate to the visionary heart in our interactive, co-creative partnering, there's the invitation for that to happen at this time seamlessly, anywhere that you have the sense that you haven't shown up fully, or that there's been just something there. And it may be in general, not only in our divine partnership. As some of those overlays, as we're in the month of January, which is in a sense Visionary Heart Month with the one, and if we're being creative and having 2 activations a month on military time, then it's also Ascended Mastery Month. The Visionary Heart, the 1, and the 13 o'clock military time, Ascended Mastery. So have a sense of anywhere that you may not have brought your Ascended Mastery fully forward for whatever reason. And that's being invited for more of the part of the sequence to come forward. Good. Good. Now, we would invite you to now go into the room that is Divine Light Activation number 24, you as a being of light incarnate. And that you're going to meet yourself as the being of light incarnate that you be in this 24th room, in this 24th dimension. And it may not be as separate as we're describing it, because you are all the activations in oneness. Yet we like the idea of you going to meet yourself in this room, eye to eye, peer to peer, being of light to being of light. And we'll spend some time in the silence for you to be with yourself as a being of light, to being of light, without any expectations, without any seeking, just being together. And it may be that you are knowing something as you connect to yourself. You may see something, you may feel something, you may hear something. It may be just space, but just being with your choice to connect to yourself, to meet yourself as the being of light that you be in this 24th chamber within the temple of light of the divine light activation. And we'll be together in the silence as you're with yourself, creating some space for whatever wants to come through for you. And having a sense that you've touched something or you've accessed more of you as the being of light that you be. There's the invitation to now bring yourself as the being of light that you be into a how to say, it's like if all of the circles of each of you and us as beings of light were overlapping, and then there was the hologram of the Vesica Pisces, that opens up a doorway or a causeway for us to be in a co-created, collaborative divine light activation council space and meeting room. So you're not only within your visionary heart room in your individual temple of light, yet it's opened up to be the divine light activation temple of light. And this meeting is now happening in the chamber of the visionary heart, that each of you that are that each of you that has chosen to activate the full 24 divine light activations are present as a part of this council co-creative meeting. And you may have a sense of the other beings of light and also those that will come, those that will be a part of the divine light activation 22 sequence. And as we're together in this space, we would request that you bring your part of the sequence and place it on this communal altar for the visionary heart of the divine light activation being of light, that you have a key or a code, a contribution to unlock even more fully this co-creation. And we're placing on the altar also our parts of the sequence. And simultaneously having an awareness of yourself as a being of light incarnate, and like accessing more information about you as a being of light incarnate, and then also having an awareness of this council meeting, this gathering. Good. And then as we've placed our part of the sequence on the altar for this activation, this attunement, this gathering, we'd invite you to bring forward your part of the sequence, and that may or may not be something that you're aware of verbally. And if there's anything coming to you, or you're seeing something or feeling something or knowing something or have a question, like sometimes we popcorn together for the divine light activations, we'd invite you to share that at this time. Like, we've set the table, we've set the stage, yet what we do here together is co-created in the moment. It's co-creation midwifery in the moment. And so as we're in this co-creation midwifery energy, and within this visionary heart chamber of the divine light activation, being of light, temple of light, we'd open up for you to bring something forward. Again, it may be a question or what you're aware of, so that it's like how we speak about the briefcase that's wanting to be opened, that there's a combination lock. And in particular, we're aware of the first divine light activation in May, where at times there would be the popcorning of questions that would get the energy going. And so if you're on mute and you'd want to come off mute, you can do that yourself. And welcome, Jeff.
Okay, I'll go. Which is, I'd be thrilled to hear more about the cosmic connection that was described in today's email, and the Temple of Light in Villar, or that area, and what's opening up, this causeway that's opening up. And if it's appropriate for us to be making a contribution to that even today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
I just want to make a contribution that is coming to me, also tapping on this contribution to expanding the divine light into the cosmos, the divine light activations. And that is also that the potential to activate the divine lights in the, let's say, in the 3D or in the more physical world is also expanding. So I'm getting the sense that it is that as we expand the vision, or as the vision is expanding through the cosmos, that also provides a conduit, a path to even anchor more strongly the energies on Earth. So something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The as above, so below, as within, so without.
Yeah.
And the question that's coming to Danielle to place on the altar is, as beings of light incarnated, what contribution do we have to the divine light activation being of light, and also to all that is and all that could be, and everything in between, to one another, to the Earth Star, to consciousness?
For me, it's, you know, I realize that I've purposely chosen to drop what came in for me in France about working with kids and gardening and Mother Earth and all that, because it just didn't quite resonate with me. And what I became more clear about in this meditation was that I was, I've been in all these leadership positions and doing. And for me, what came through was to be like an elder, an elder of, being the light incarnate of, and doing it. So it's still a leadership role, but in a very background way, and it done in community or with the DLA counselor or whatever it is. But like Daniel, is bringing it into this planet in whatever way that's supposed to happen. But being one of those conduits, one of those, and I don't know what it means more than that. Yeah.
Thank you.
The question I've been asking is, what is impossible that is now possible? And also asking the Earth Star, what energies and which of the divine light activations would be a contribution to her? And I've also been infusing them into, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, and also the animal kingdom, the planet kingdom, and the mineral kingdom as well. I just sense that there's something there.
During our time together just now, I just had an interesting experience that I'll just share and put on the altar in case it's of benefit to anybody else. So we were meeting our light body in the Divine Light Activation Light Temple, and I've been wanting to connect to those projects and books and things that are already in existence, and only half-heartedly attempting to reach them. But I asked my light body to help me connect to those pockets of information, and then it was like my light body kind of took a string, or like the tape measures that can go out and snap back, and then just ran it way into the cosmos, and then popped into a room of light, and then we're like kind of together. Is this the room? Is this where I want to be in? And it was just a fascinating process that I think is going to really benefit me to be able to connect to ancient wisdom and things that I've left for myself that need to come forward to the world at this time.
Mm-hmm. Great, and that ascended mastery as well. Anything else anyone wants to add?
There was just one small thing. I think it was in the master set DLA number 22, and there was a reference to some higher frequency energies that are being made available to the earth plane, but somehow, sometimes we may be, I'm not talking specifically about this group, but that humanity is not quite able to absorb those frequencies, or we're somehow slightly missing them. So if that could be embraced into any response, that would be lovely. Great.
Mm-hmm. Good. And so as this co-created temple of light and this council of light gathering is happening within the visionary heart, there's also the downloading even more of who it is that you each be as beings of light incarnate, that you are actualizing the vision that you carry as a being of light incarnate, reunited with multidimensional cosmic consciousness. And we know that this is at times an adjustment for the incarnation, and also for how it is that you view yourself. And so we would invite, as a next step, to go into these partnering with the breakout rooms, and to explore for yourself more of who it is that you are as a being of light incarnate, and the oracular vision that you carry. And that sometimes when we speak about, well, who is it that you are as a being of light incarnate, that we speak about the pantheon, for example, such as me, Thoth, and being associated with different areas of ascended mastery, and that you have a signature energy, or if you are a superhero, that it's like you're these divine qualities. And you may have a greater sense of who it is that you are as a being of light incarnate and the oracular vision that you carry. And the way that we would invite you to do this is with a combination of what we've just done, of you going into the temple of light, and it's like how we've been doing the quantum light, where you zip up each of the activations in your system and your spinal column, and that you would go within each of the activations within your own system, and that the other partner that you're with would also do that at the same time in their system. And then you share what you each access for yourself. And that it's like simultaneously doing that and then sharing it with each other. So we know we just said a lot of different things, but we'd invite you to take the first 5 minutes of this partner time to be within, to go through each of the activations with the question for yourself to experience more of yourself as a being of light incarnate in the vision that you carry. And we want to leave it wide open, because maybe it's that one of the activations lights up for you, maybe it's that you have greater clarity, and then you would share what you each received for yourself. So does anyone have any questions about that? And we'd take maybe 10-15 minutes for that. And is that a clear enough exercise?
Could you just review that a little bit again, please? This is David.
Yes, David. So you would go within and into your temple of light of each of the 22 activations. So it's like the quantum light, yet a little bit more multidimensional. So you would call upon each of the activations with the intention of getting to know yourself as a being of light incarnate and the vision that you carry more. And that you each would be doing it for yourselves at the same time, and then spend a few minutes each debriefing about it. So that or something else that comes to you. Yet the main focus is that you are getting to know yourself as a being of light incarnate and more of the vision that you carry through this quantum light actualization. So did that clear anything up, or did it confuse it even more?
It feels clear to me. Thank you.
Great. So the breakout rooms will be created, and then let's see. So it is 7 till. So how about if everybody comes back at like 10 after? How much time is that? 5. What would be 15 minutes? Like 8 after? Is that something like that? Okay. And so opening all the rooms. And then Brenda, it looks like you would stay here. Let's see. So Daniel, since you're here, maybe staying here, and Brenda. Good. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it that way since you're still here.
Okay.
and Brenda went somewhere. So we'll do it. We'll do it together.
Okay, great. Hmm.
And are you ready to debrief or share what you saw or receive what I
Yes.
shared? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to begin?
Sure.
So I receive, I will say, a strengthening of, on a personal level of, let's say, my path in the short term. So I have this project with my girlfriend and other friends to sort of build a community, a spiritual, ecological community. Well, I was just this weekend in that place with the people we want to build this, and well, there are a lot of challenges to make this, to manifest this. So I just received that somehow, just a confirmation that this is something this is something my spirit, I deeply want to follow, and sort of anchor in a physical place with community, what is growing inside of me in a personal level. And then I connected to the divine light. I was, what I felt could be some part of the future of the divine light in the long term. And I felt something like, so I felt like right now it's like we are like stars that are like lighting up. And I saw in the future, or whatever, it's maybe not the future, it's the reality in another dimension, sort of like building galaxies or something. So when enough stars are activated, so this will bring something new, like a collective force, or something that happens when many stars are shining and brightening and connected, and so maybe this new phase of the divine light practitioners is to basically spread the light and build these greater constellations of stars, or so I saw sort of the grid. So it's like the grid shining through in the earth plane and beyond, and connecting to other higher dimensional grids in the cosmos. That, yeah, so it is like a next level activation or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Interesting. Whew. Yeah, so I'm moving back in a little bit. Yeah, so I noticed for me that it was like this, I felt like, first of all, to acknowledge that we have now built this temple of light, like it, that we could go in it, and that I could go in my own 24-dimensional being of light, temple of light. And so I went back to the room 24, me as a being of light, and was asking more about me as a being of light. And the first thing I saw was like this treasure chest of like pearls, and just like a treasure chest, almost like you'd find at the bottom of the ocean or something. And then emerald, like the U-ray. And then I went into the room of 14, like divine light activation number 14 of my oracular vision, and really had the sense of like that the vision that me as a being of light incarnate carries, not that it's that much different, yet I'm seeing it in a more pronounced way, is to midwife the treasures that everyone has within them, while they're being who they are, the emerald ray, the U ray, and that's a big part of the mission that I have as a being of light incarnate. And that some of those treasures, even though they were being shown like pearls and all that kind of stuff, are like these treasures that you were talking to about too, is like this cosmic energy or galactic energy, or like a vision that each brings that they may not know, that it kind of, and I was asking like, well, why a treasure chest? And it seemed kind of buried, like, or at the bottom of the ocean, and then it would float up. That it's also a remembering process for everyone to be accessing their treasure. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I can see that too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the image of the sea is so powerful as a symbol of life and holding life. It's the conducive space for life and light and connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's making me think of Saint Marie de la Mer in the Lost Temple there, off the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and Atlantis, and all the stuff that we kind of talked about in our DLA. And as we're talking about it, then I'm seeing like each of us as, not that we're lost, but this kind of let's say lost temples of light that may be under the sea or in the galaxies that are now being resurrected or reincarnated.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I also, when I was running through the 24 divine light activations, I could sense the presence of something of light itself. I don't know, like light in its pure form. It's like, I guess it's very difficult to put in words, but like the temples of light are, it's pure light, or like primordial, or where all something even that exists even before we can see it, or So it's so I felt like these buildings, like when I connected to divine light activation number 23, all the activations and me as a being of light was when I saw, felt, perceived that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, welcome back, Brenda and Mary Elizabeth. You're yellow. You got deep light in there.
Luminous light.
Something's changed in the room.
Luminous light.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't yellow in the previous breakout, was I, Brenda?
No, before the breakout, you weren't yellow.
Well, and in the breakout, I wasn't yellow.
No. Yeah.
You came back.
Yeah. Transformed.
I guess I did.
Cool. Well, I came back into the forefront as we were having our partnering, and so I think I'll connect to the team again as we're coming back from the groups. Welcome back, Dave and Mary.
Thank you.
And this is Toth with Danielle as a being of light incarnate that are moving more to the forefront of this divine transmission. So we're going to play together in that way. Fun. So as Jeff and Robin are coming back, how was this? Like if we start sharing, they'll come back. Yeah, well, okay. So this is funny. I'm coming back again. So what I would share is one of the things that I wanted to acknowledge was really that I had a sense of all the divine light activations and everything that we've been doing, that there really has been now like this consecrated temple that I could go in it. You know, like they were chambers to me. And that was really cool. So I found myself going in the chamber of 24, the being of light, and then also 14, oracular vision. And now you're green, Mary Elizabeth.
I'm very distracted by that.
Now you're emerald. She's doing like a laser light show, like on the Sphinx in Egypt, you know? And I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's so funny. They have like a laser light show on the Sphinx.
Oh, really? Oh.
Here we go. Welcome back.
Bye.
Welcome back, Jeff and Robin. Yeah, so I was just sharing that for me, I went into the number 24, the room, and number 14, the oracular vision, and got more information about the vision that I carry as a being of light, being about the emerald. You, Ray, as Mary Elizabeth is emerald now, and and supporting and midwifing people to bring forward their hidden treasures. So yeah, it was a cool thing. So who'd like to share? How was this? What did you guys notice?
Well, it is Emerald Resonance Day today, so I guess at least I'm wearing the right color. To the rest of you, I wasn't like this before. I didn't change anything in the room. In the breakout session, I was normal, and I came back here, and then I was yellow for a while, and now I'm green. So.
My favorite color is green.
There you go.
Well, I'd like to volunteer Mary Elizabeth to share the message that she got.
Okay. So the message that I got is that I'm a cosmic traveler with much experience to draw on. It's kind of, maybe you would expect that, but like when we were doing the Magic Academy, sometimes I get freaked out when it was like way out there, like way cosmic. So I'm settling into the fact that I'm a cosmic traveler.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, I'll go next. I think Jeff and I had some serious similarities, I would say, because, of course, the Mother Earth connection, came in. And so for me, it felt like wanting to bring in the light, the beingness from the cosmos through the DLA council and community, and bring it into Earth and respond to what Mother Earth was needing at the time, and make that full connection from the cosmos into the Earth, and bringing it all into wholeness in that way.
Sweet. Jeff, since you guys were going, did you want to add anything?
It became clearer to me that I find myself more focused on earthbound, and I'm interested in the cosmic realm, not totally, but basically to the extent it can impact the earth or my incarnation. I just got clearer that that's kind of the way I'm orientated. And I think I'm expanding. I'm very comfortable with that. And at the same time, I think with getting more acquainted and expanding into my light being more, I am getting more comfortable and venturing into the more cosmic space. So it helped me see or clarify my own particular focus at this time in my my journey.
Cool. Yeah. Well, it is also being a being of light incarnate.
Exactly. Right. And I'm very interested in both of those together. Not so interested in just the being of light without it being incarnate. I mean, I'm interested in, but I always want to bring that to the incarnation. And then the partnership realm. Feels like there's a connection there, which I'm still ruminating on.
Great. So who else wants to add something, debrief a bit from your breakout rooms?
Well, I would like to share my some of the visions I got. That was basically from a personal level confirming a project that I'm joining to build a spiritual ecological community, and I felt this is a manifestation on the earth plane, on the physical level of all the spiritual light work I've been participating in, and of course this is a very special one that is strengthening this project. And I felt I was perceiving sort of the trend where the divine light activation is heading, that is moving towards from shining individual stars to building galaxies and potentially constellations and universes. So is this and what I feel we are doing, that is what could we generate as a collective that individually could not exist. So what is being created when we work together? And so with the new developments of the divine light activation, I feel I saw sort of the grid expanding and becoming brighter, and the connections strengthening. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, that reminds me of a meditation I had one time of like how we look up at the stars and, but like what does it look like from the central sun? Is the central sun's looking at us as stars? Like, is that how we look? Yeah. So Mary, Dave, anything you guys want to add from your share?
I don't feel myself in a complete temple yet. But I have this like more a pyramid thing forming above my head in my 8th chakra. So in the Council of Light, it's almost the pyramid with the base facing upward, getting the light from them. And then there's the pyramid itself, which seems to be becoming a temple, but it's not quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice. It's very nice. And I don't know where all this leads. I just have to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. Thank you.
Great. So Mary, Brenda, anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I think the one that popped for me as we were doing the exercise was evolutionary magic. So that I'll kind of steep in that the next couple days.
I think for me, it's the opening of pathways. I think the oracular vision and just seeing, possibilities that may not be seen by others and that kind of thing. So that's essentially right. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. All right. Yes, I'm just tuning in because it was like Toth came in and then he stepped out, and it seemed important for me to be like being me as the being of light incarnate that I be after that exercise for a few minutes. So I'm just seeing if they want to come back in as we're coming towards a place of completion of this conversation. And this is Toth with Metatron, Melchizedek, Sanat Kumara, Archangel Michael, Mary Magdalene, the Intergalactic Council of Light, Anubis, and many other beings of light that are moving more to the forefront of this divine transmission, to invite you to walk back through that eye from this communal divine light activation temple, and to know that you've brought more of you as a being of light incarnate as you're coming back even more fully into you as the being of light incarnate that you be. And that particular meeting space is dissolving. It's almost like how there can be with food trucks, that there can be like not knowing where the food truck's going to be, and then information goes out and everyone goes to the food truck. It was like a pop-up meeting space, and now it's moving on, and that there is much acknowledgement and celebration in the contribution of this gathering. For as Daniel said, it is like bringing the individual stars together to create the galaxies, the constellations. And so as always, we are acknowledging your contribution to yourself, to us, to one another, to the Earth star, to the cosmos, to the galaxies beyond. And we'd invite you to hold in the remainder of this 24-hour activation sequence, really being with yourself as a being of light incarnate. And this may be an exercise that you choose to go into your temple, into the different chambers or dimensions, or you may choose to continue to tune into it in the way that you are called. And we would invite for that sequence to come to a place of completion and to complete this divine light activation gathering at this time with the lid on. Like just as you're cooking, there's a time to open the lid and add things and stir things, and yet it's like putting a period on the divine light activation sequence, putting a period on the all that you've chosen and created, and letting it cook, letting it steep, and that there is more to co-create as you're called. There's more to come, yet we would let this cook and settle and percolate even more fully. And we also are acknowledging the contribution that this conversation has had for the next Divine Light Activation sequence in May, and would invite you, if you would, contribute to putting out the call for those that would be coming for that and with that. So as we're completing, is there anything that anyone would add or ask at this time?
Yeah, I just want to share for a few seconds. I got this a very beautiful instrument. It's interesting because it has some tonalities and sounds that I feel very connected to, that they express light. And this is like a new, sort of like a new sounds that are coming into music. So I just want to share just a few seconds so as an offering, because I feel it's actually the tuning of this instrument is called heavenly tuning. So it's very interesting. So just sharing this. It's called Sansula, and it's a very ancient African, but with new developments made in Europe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
Nice. Can you put it like right in front of your face so we can see it? Ah,
There
okay.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask the same thing, Robin. Like, I want to see it. Thank you.
And on a much more mundane note, I really appreciate in the October DLA sessions, the activations, there was time spent on each of them for how to use them more, which I really appreciate, and that's led me to some other ideas about how to use each of them in my life. So that felt very kind of concrete and earthbound, as Jeff would say. Yeah.
Great. And all is light. We are all. Beautiful. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I just love the DLA and love our coming together and appreciate each of you, and love too this Mary Elizabeth being in the Emerald Ray. Yeah, and it sounds like it's a good time for us to keep cooking and keep the lid on, and then we have the Facebook group to communicate about the 2424, and I'll be in touch with the downloads as I'm getting and the co-creation about the possibility of DLA 2 and the quantum light practitioner stuff, and and more will be revealed.
Are we going to set a date for our next call?
It
Well,
feels,
one more, don't we?
it feels like letting this have a period on the end, and then to move forward from there. How many is this? Is this the second or the third?
It's the third.
It's the third.
Yeah. So to cook and then to see what comes from it, because I certainly want to keep playing, and yet it seems like at times to have that pause, because for some of us we haven't paused since May, really. Right? It's just been going.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Emerald Girl. Bye,
Well,
everyone.
I will be in touch.
Yes.